Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're watching this, you probably already heard or seen by now the newest sensation that is sweeping the nation, Palworld. So today we want to have a conversation about this game and whether or not it's good or bad or ugly or all of that combined.
Created and released by Pocket Pair, Palworld is an online survival game. I believe you can play it solo, but the big appeal of it is that you can play in an up to 32 player lobby. In these lobbies, you can catch pals, harvest, create weapons, and do all sorts of things. Honestly, it's quite the suite of different features. Whether you're catching individualized pals, equipping them with guns, cutting them up to use as resources, or even capturing other characters in the game, gets a little nuts. One of the big questions with the game itself and its release is, where does it stand morally? On the one hand, it seems to be just a hair short of being plagiarism from Pokemon, though it isn't on a technical circumstance. On the other hand, there's rumors that the game itself has been created or partially created in a way using AI generated art, which is a whole different bevy of questions and complications. So where do we stand?
It's an excellent question. Where do you stand on this game morally? Me, as a viewer of the game and the gameplay that I've seen so far, it's only on early access, by the way, on Microsoft, Steam, and Xbox, by the way. I think that it is not fair that they can do this and take pretty much blatant copies of the designs of Pokemon. But on the other hand, I do think it's kind of cool that it does give way to some competition to Nintendo and Pokemon as a company, because I feel like they have just had the monopoly on the market of these kinds of games for far too long. So it is cool to see someone finally pushing back against them, but it does suck that it's coming in a way that is so controversial and kind of, in some regards, lazy if it is just a blatant copy or if it's AI technology. That does kind of put a sour taste in my mouth, but I do think it is an interesting concept for a game, and it's interesting to see someone finally like, hey look, here's an alternative to Pokemon. And the power of Pokemon itself is so big that this game has become the highest seller with over like 5 million downloads, just because it is like the Pokemon cologne. Like, that shows you how much or how important Pokemon is to us as a society. We want to see more Pokemon games get made that are a little bit more interesting than just, hey, catch Pokemon, battle Pokemon. No, we want to see Pokemon with guns, baby. And we want to learn how to build things like Minecraft. All those kids who love Minecraft currently now watching streamers still. This kind of scratches that itch for them, and it also scratches the itch of people who want to play like a twisted version of Pokemon.
AI generated art is a bit of a tough subject to talk about in the first place. On the one hand, it's this new experimental thing that we're getting into and gives us a ton of possibilities when it comes to creation and generation. But on the other hand, the art that these AI tools have been fed oftentimes belong to other people without their say of it being used in these formats. Not great. Furthermore, on top of Palworld itself as a game, it is kind of great, if you ask me, to see someone finally pushing back at Pokemon. By comparison, Palworld is running you about $30 if you were to buy it at the time of recording this, whereas Pokemon, to buy the most recent iteration of the game as well as its DLC, is going to run you just about $120 USD. There's a lot of problems with that if you ask me. For a long time, Pokemon has failed to reinvent the wheel. They've added some key mechanics here and there, like Mega Evolution or Dynamaxing or things like that, but none of this has actually stuck to the actual game as a whole. Furthermore, for the price tag, you don't get much of the way of features. Even The Legend of Zelda had voice acting recently. There's still no voice acting in the Pokemon games, just at all. And you see these really awkward, weird cutscenes. The newest epilogue that came out is a great example of that. On the flip side though, Palworld is offering you something at a fourth of the price for the most part, and it's got all these additional features and things that you can do. It's online and you could play with your friends. You could ride on the pals and fly through the air, which are all mechanics that they just barely added back into Pokemon now. It's a really tough call. Honestly, I think that I'm still gonna take the time to try the game if I get the opportunity. I might get it on sale. It's currently 10% off and it might go a little lower given how popular it is. But overall, I can understand people not wanting to play the game or to try it. Though, oftentimes in these cases, I think it might be better to give something a chance because you never know if you're gonna find something else that you enjoy.
As far as me, will I be playing it? You know, if it's there, I'll try it out, sure. But I don't know if I can get too deep into it because my loyalty does stand with Pokemon at the end of the day. But I do or I do understand that they're not infallible, Pokemon as a company, and that they do make mistakes and they do fall short sometimes, more recently with Scarlet and Violet in my opinion. So yeah, with that regard, I'll try it out, but only for science purposes only. It's not going to be me really playing it, okay? And if you guys, or if we do find out that it is all AI created and that they go to court. Speaking of that, did you see the guy who made Pokemon? Like, actually, they've already modded it. It's in Steam right now, and you know how that goes. Modders go crazy. Someone made Pokemon come to this game. They made all these different Pokemon come, like Wooloo and Pikachu, and they got him.
Wait, what do you mean they got him?
What was I saying? I don't remember. But if we do find out that this game has like some dark creation behind it, I want it to be known right now. I don't support this game. But if it comes out and they're fine, I might play it a little bit. But what do you guys think? Let us know down below in the comments. Do you guys like this game? Will you be playing it? Do you support it? Do you hate it? All those thoughts that you have in your brain right now, put them on paper. Put them in the comment section. Also, while you're here, go ahead and subscribe, please. We would enjoy that very much. Also, you can follow us. All of our socials will be in the description box below. And until next time, go find a gun, attach it to your animal, go crazy.